I'm only 14. I'm only 14. How old are you guys? 14. 14? You're 14? 14 and 15. 15? What's your 14 and 15? What are your guys' names? Rashad James and Trayshawn James. Rashad James and Trayshawn James? Okay. See you.
But ICE doesn't arrest American citizens, right?
This was ICE arresting allegedly two brothers, 14 and 15 years of age. Put up the picture for a mass. This is what we're fighting. And this is what will not stand. So video shows two black teens being detained by ICE agents. They are brothers, LaShawn James and Trayshawn James. In the video, you can hear them giving their names and ages and asking someone to tell their mother, their children. There is no information on who these teens are. If you have any information about these children, please reach out to our tip line at indisputable@tytnetwork.com. Indisputable@tytnetwork.com. We will be monitoring that for information. I'm going to take you now to the family that was tear gassed. Not involved in any protest, even though if they were, still should not have had this happen. They were just driving by. Meanwhile, in Minneapolis, a couple says ICE decided to release tear gas on their family while 6 children were inside of the vehicle. You see this? Shawn and Destiny Jackson say they and their 6 children were on their way from their son's basketball game and stopped to get groceries. After they left the store, they say they turned onto Lindale, taking their normal route home. Sounds like the guy going to get a sandwich, lunch. Minding their business, engaging in the family life, routine schedule. And this happens. After they left the store, they say they turned to Lindale, taking the normal route. Quote, we started to see lights and stuff, even trying to leave. I couldn't go backwards, forward. It was like I was stuck. That's what father said. Quote, the one that actually exploded up under the car, I watched them throw it. I seen the sparks and it went. I was looking out the window and just seen the sparks coming and it hit the ground and it rolled. Quote, literally, all we heard was boom. And our car went up and came down and every airbag deployed out of the car. You see the carnage right there. Destiny says bystanders took them to a nearby house when she realized their youngest, just 6 months old, was still in the car. 6 months old, still in the car. Quote, I was screaming. I'm like, I have more kids out there. I have more kids out there. And people were screaming and running to my car, trying to grab the rest of my kids. Quote, he was the last person to come in. He was like lifeless, like he had like foam, like around his mouth. And he had tears coming out of his eyes. I was giving him mouth to mouth and people were calling EMS trying to help me. Destiny says the ambulance eventually came, taking them to the hospital. Quote, while we were in the ambulance, they were still throwing those bombs. And I remember the ambulance people were just telling my kids, like, it's okay. You're safe in here. You're safe in here. That sounds like some kind of military attack. Doesn't sound like law enforcement. It sounds like a military occupation. They aren't treated like citizens. They're treated like enemy combatants. They have no weapons. They're not engaged in warfare. There's no combat to them. These are children and parents simply going home, taking the normal route. The ambulance has to provide shelter for them against this extreme assault on their lives. The parents say their children are traumatized. They're traumatized and are not sleeping, but they are physically okay. And what they mean by that is that there are no wounds or bullets, but they're not sleeping because they're traumatized. It's post-traumatic. The family says their car is completely gone. After the airbags deployed, there's a fundraiser to help cover the cost of a new vehicle. Obviously, this was an unexpected crisis, not brought on by them. We want to help them as best as we can. You can support the Jackson family via GoFundMe. Go to the GoFundMe, support the Jackson family after ICE incident. You can look that up on GoFundMe. Support the Jackson family after ICE incident. We will provide the direct link in the description of this segment. Children inside of a vehicle, even your local law enforcement, if they ever did something like this, they will be held accountable. Typically, they wouldn't do this. There are some that would. Granted, we've reported on them. But generally speaking, you don't see this happening from local law enforcement. And generally speaking, if it does happen, the local officials who you vote into office care enough about your opinion of them and of their own proxy to power that you can hold the mayor accountable, you can hold the county commissioner accountable, you can hold the CEO of the county accountable, you can hold people accountable who actually have something to do with your local police department. But when the individuals are not able to be held accountable, or B, your local powers that be are unwilling to hold them accountable, what do you have? Trump won't help you. He's back into play. All right, Jordan, thoughts here.
I mean, for all the talk, all the hand-wringing that we heard from the Trump team during the campaign about how immigrants are destroying communities and families, they're, leaving families grieving with their murder spree and their violence, and they're terrorizing apartment complexes and quaint neighborhoods. All I'm seeing is Trump's own brown shirts doing that same thing to communities. I saw earlier today, family activities in youth sports leagues, winter sports leagues, are already canceled this weekend in Minneapolis out of an abundance of caution because they are targeting families at events. Threat isn't trans people. The threat isn't immigrants. You said you cared about youth sports and you had to protect the sanctity of them. And that's why you are discriminating against trans people. You're saying you're protecting families, you're protecting communities from immigrants. They are keeping themselves safe from you. And like we said earlier in the show, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen. If they racially profile you, they'll apprehend you, they'll give you a rough ride, and they will upend your life because the cruelty is the point. And this is yet another example of that.
And this is also why we fight. And this is why we bring transparency, light, opportunity for exposure, and also to remind others that there are people in this world who will not sit back and allow this to happen. The truth is the vast majority of people in this America are not down with this play. And they're not down with this program. And that is the reason it will not be sustainable. I want you to always remember that. Always hold on to that hope. Hope is not an intangible thing. Hope is what creates. Wherever your focus is where your energy is. Wherever your energy is where your creation is.